Lawan Danzaki, National President of the Association of Distributors and Transporters of Petroleum Products, as well as Maurice Ibe, a consultant to the association, join us now on the news. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us on the news tonight. Let me start with you, Mr. Lawan Danzaki. A lot of issues have been attributed to this situation we find ourselves at the moment. And as you heard that gentleman in Bayelsa, he's livid. I'm yet to see anyone who's not livid. It's become a norm to find those queues at the petrol station. But what exactly is the cause of what's on ground? Some say it's scarcity, some say it's hike in price. What are we dealing with?
Thank you very much. Our problem now is the global issue. You know, our refineries are not working. Since the refinery is not working, we don't have a refined product. We depend largely on importation. And this importation, you know, this product has been transported by our trucks. And our trucks is using diesel, that is AGO, for the transportation. Because of this Ukraine and Russian crisis, the price of diesel has gone up to 800 naira, some areas in Nigeria up to 1,000 naira. So it is very difficult for we transporters to go and bring that petrol with our trucks. As Nigeria midstream and downstream, you know, when federal government brings this Petroleum Industrial Act, it merged the Petroleum Equalization Fund and the Petroleum Price Regulatory Agency. So we have been suffering for number one, that the payment that the marketers are supposed to get, they are not getting it well and when due. Secondly, the cost of the petrol, that template of the PPRA has not been adjusted. Just last week, we have been trying for almost 3 months to get increase of the freight. But last week, the president has given approval to add 10 naira for us. But unfortunately, the AGO price is continue going off. And the cost of the maintenance of the trucks, the lubricant that we use to service our trucks for 18,000 naira, now we are buying it at the rate of 50,000 naira per jerrycans. To service your truck, it will cost you almost 70,000. So no matter anyhow we wanted to transport this product, we find it very difficult because of the high cost of maintenance and high price. And when we find ourselves in this situation, the midstream and downstream, they're supposed to increase the margin of the marketers, because when they increase the price of the product, they give us in a problem to source for a capital to balance that payment of that product. So by going to balance that product, we have to get money from the banks, and the banks has to charge interest for us. And the money that, our money that was downstream, then stop paying us when due. It will take them 9 months, 8 months. Marketer doesn't get his money back. So how will he go back to transport a petroleum product?
Let me bring in Maurice Ibe here. Maurice, you are the consultant to ADTPP. And now, of course, he's just mentioned what I call it a truckload of problems bedeviling the sector. I understand, of course, depot owners are charging more. The cost of business is high, which must have actually prompted the Ipman branch in Lagos to say their members are going to be selling at a price higher than 160 naira. We also have the cost of transportation, as he has also highlighted. But then NNPC has come to the rescue, telling us that they have about a month's supply of the product right now. So the availability of the product is not the problem, which brings us back to the issue of transportation, is it? Now, talk to me about this. This 500 billion naira, which has always been the foundation of all this problem, how soon do you think both Ipman and ADTPP can get remuneration for their services? Is this possible? And if it's not paid soonest, what will happen?
Thank you very much for having me back on the program. As we mentioned earlier during our World Press Conference, these particular funds of our members trapped with the defunct PEF, the Petroleum Equalization Fund, which transmuted it to the midstream, downstream regulatory agency, or authority rather, has been stuck for far too long. We have been calling on the midstream, downstream authority to step forward, help these members, release their funds, come for reconciliation. Let us determine what exactly is owed to these members. These are monies they use for their businesses. Many of these members' businesses have crashed. Many of these members have died. They can't access these monies. These are bridging claims. These are product differentials that are owed to them by the midstream, downstream petroleum regulatory authority. They have the figures. They have the documentations. Our members have their claims also. We are saying, come to the table. If these monies are not paid to these members, things, I hate to tell you, and I hate to panic Nigerians. I don't want to panic Nigerians, but things may have to get worse. So we need to come to the table, resolve this matter, so that members can access their funds. These are not loans they owe the federal government. These are their monies. Release their funds so that they can have the capacity to buy these products, transport these products to the nooks and corners of Nigeria. We have been shouting about this. We've been talking about it. I've been seeking the consent and understanding of the Petroleum Midstream Downstream Authority. This can be resolved in a matter of weeks. It doesn't have to be months if they cooperate with us. But like everything else in Nigeria, it takes forever. And people wait till things get worse. We don't want it to get worse. The NNPC is doing their very best to roll out products. PPMC is doing their very best to roll out products so that they can ameliorate the situation in the country right now. But I can tell you, if the issue with midstream, downstream is not resolved, this scarcity will always be a recurrent decimal in our society. So again, I'm using this medium to call them. Let them come to the table, bring the documentations, printouts of our members they have, so that we can sit down and reconcile it, resolve this problem once and for all, so that the country doesn't have to keep suffering. It's unfortunate.
Okay, just to clarify, Mr. Ibe, you make it sound like the government isn't coming to the table, but we've heard in the past the authorities say, yes, there are claims that need to be paid, but verification need to be made, because they cannot just accept the figures from the members for what they are being owed in bridging claims. So clarify, are you saying the government is not willing to pay these monies, or they are slow in paying these monies? However, some would say, despite these bridging claims, Nigerians have never bought the product at the same price around the country, which this bridging claim is supposed to fix.
Well, the government is not saying they won't pay, and we are not telling them to pay blindly. What we are calling for is for the midstream, downstream regulatory authority to come to the table with the information they have. And our members have submitted a lot of their claims. We have it in possession. They're bringing more and more of these claims. So we can sit down over a round table, determine what exactly is owed to these members. We'll reconcile the figures. Whatever is owed, we say this is what is owed. You can pay what you can pay now. You can't pay now. You graduate the payments and they can clean that over a period of time. These are bridging claims. These are product differentials. These are monies of petroleum marketers stuck in midstream, downstream authority. It needs to get paid. It must be paid for this issue to go away. We can't say it enough, and I can't say it enough. And I am pleading to the authorities, please come to the table. Let's try and resolve this matter so the members can get paid and our people can stop suffering.
All right, let me bring in Mr. Danzaki here. When we talk about this money, I mean, 500 billion is a lot. And, you know, we keep on using that term. We're calling on the government, and we're calling on the government to pay. And many would think it's probably money that's, you know, been appropriated in the budget. But listening to you earlier today, you did say that it's not actually money coming from the government. You did say this is money contributed, you know, indirectly by customers. Can you just clarify exactly where this money is coming from so we understand how difficult it is, you know, for you to get this money back or not?
Yes. This money that has been contributed, the petroleum equalization that is under midstream and downstream now, is the one responsible for every liter that we paid. In price template, there is a certain amount that is earmarked for the equalization of this petroleum product. So that's what makes us to be surprised, because we independent marketers, we are not a accredited marketer to NNPC. Before we take any product, whether in private depot or in NNPC depot, our members are paying their money in full. You pay today, maybe it will take you 2 weeks, 3 weeks at times, or 2 days before you load. So the amount of money our members is just for the downstream to collect that money and reimburse it after we have delivered. I wonder when the downstream are saying that they wanted to clarify our bridging. To our own assumption is that if they carry the stakeholders along, if there is any waybill or any truck that has a technical or operational problem, they supposed to tell us, our members, so that they can correct it and get their money, instead for them to keep it aside. We are seeing that action as a delay in making payment to our members. And secondly, this money that is in the template, so they promise us that when they introduce the Aquila system, they diverted from this manual system to Aquila system. They will, when you load your product at any destination in Nigeria, their representative has to flash your truck. They all tag our truck. So I wonder, even if we have a time limit of 10 days before our delivery, and if your truck has a problem, nobody will solve that problem, for their mechanism to get record of it is in their office. But in terms of payment, they will complain. If our members has a problem in their payment, that's the essence of our consultant. Okay. They liaise with our consultant. Okay. They give him the waybills that have a problem. They tell us what is the problem. If it is something that the marketer will solve, then he will solve the problem. Okay.
Mr. Ibe, I mean, we have all talked about the challenges here tonight. The solution, how soon can this be resolved? Nigerians just want to drive into the petrol station, fill their tanks, get petrol for their generators, especially with the erratic power supply at the moment. How soon can this be resolved?
Well, first of all, again, I express appreciation to the Group Managing Director of NNPC, the PPMC's Managing Director. They have rolled out a lot of products to try to smoothen and clear most of these scarcities and queues that are all around the country for now. But the timeline totally depends on the honest intentions of midstream, downstream to come to the table. If they come to the table tomorrow, we'll begin a reconciliation and auditing of all the documentations. We need the next 10 days, 2 weeks. This can be cleared out. Then we can sit down and determine, hey, this is what you owe the members. How do you want to pay it? How do you want to go about paying it? Then we can work out a payment modality. These things can be, within 30 days, this can be cleared out. But it is up to the midstream, downstream authority to come to the table and solve this matter and help Nigerians. You know, I'm calling on them. It is critical, really critical. We can't keep going through this every now and then. It is unconscionable.
Well, thank you very much. Of course, we have been speaking to Lawan Danzaki, National President of the Association of Distributors and Transporters of Petroleum Products, and Maurice Ibe, a consultant to the association as well. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining.